What if death didn't come to you? It chose you.
Welcome to a dark episode of the Supernaturals podcast.
Where today is all about the legend, Dullahan.
The Supernaturals, St. Patrick's Day special.
Top of the morning to ye.
Welcome back.
Did we spook you with that intro?
A little different.
We were trying to set the tone because this is a dark episode of the Supernaturals. This is actually going to be a pretty spooky episode. Yeah, we hope you have your green clothing on. Jake does. I kind of do. I got my Boba Fett
He
shirt
doesn't.
on.
He thinks it's green. It's not green.
I got my Boba Fett
Roast
shirt.
him. Roast him.
Here you go. All right, whole episode like this. So
I keep hitting this fucking light.
Basically, we have a really cool episode planned today. A very spooky episode. And it's a little bit of a mix between myth and reality. Because, St. Patrick's Day is a day I would say that's full of joyous tidings. Right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. But there's dark sides to this holiday. And there's a legend that honestly is going to chill you to your core. You probably know a version of it, the Americanized version of it.
Ooh.
We've talked a little bit about it last year, but I thought I did some more research and I was like, this is so cool. We could do a full episode about it. So yeah, that's kind of
When I hear its name, I just start, twitching a little bit.
Dullahan. Yes, of course. Yeah. So last year, we talked about
We did.
a couple Irish myths and legends, and we also mentioned we had one story of a young woman that was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the lake and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was pretty sad. Then we talked about our own experiences with St. Patrick's Day and how we love the holiday.
The holiday's sweet, but we realize going out is just kind of gross now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not what we expect anymore. And it's more fun to just, hang out at your house in a nice, safe environment.
Yeah, Jake and I still think that we actually saw an unfortunate situation where a young woman we believe died because she drank too much alcohol. I don't know, but we walked out of this bar one time.
At least unresponsive,
Yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah,
right?
we walked out.
Scary.
She was laying on her back, eyes staring up into the sky.
By
and
herself. No one was around her either.
I know. Yeah.
Really sad.
It was. Yeah, and the paramedics were there, and I remember the one guy was checking her pulse, and then he kept looking at his buddy,
Mhm.
his other EMT or whatever, and was just kept shaking his head. So we just walked away, and we were like, dude, we should just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Definitely,
I don't like to relive that memory very often.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah. Because when you're staring death in the face, which I've done a couple times, it's not pretty.
No.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
In the moment, you're just like, oh my God, there was a person here at one point, and you're just like, damn, there's nothing right now, and it's haunting.
Yeah. Well, we hope that she survived and that she's chilling. Maybe took a break from
Drinking.
But yeah. So anyway, sorry to depress you guys with that really quick, but we are going to go all in on the Dullahan legend. So that will be the first part of this episode. And then we're actually going to finish us off today. We have a listener story that is pretty spooky.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with Dullahan, but it is pretty spooky. And it's spooky enough for us to read it. So,
yeah. Excited to dive into the lore here.
Yeah, man, there's a lot. Sorry, I need a drink really quick before I start.
Hey, Oli. What's up, buddy?
Now, I wrote us a little after doing some research, and me being the author that I am, actually wrote us a short little story here
A little short story.
to kind of get the full.
I don't know why I just went into an accent there, but
It's all good. Today is all about accents. That is me Lucky Charms accent. I probably offended so many people doing that, so I apologize. That was not good. That was my worst time ever doing an Irish accent. I'm usually decent at it. Hagrid, you're pushing me over the fucking line. That's more Scottish. Anyway, legendary video. Anyway, yeah, so I wrote a little short story to kind of get the idea of Dullahan. So, yeah, everybody strap in. Let's get ready to learn about some myths and legends up in here.
Yeah, tell us about this mythical being.
Might be myth. Sun had just set on a brisk October day in Ireland. The countryside was full of people who were walking briskly on their way home, their coats flowing in the breeze as they stepped on the cobblestone pathway. Children were finishing their games outside before they were called home by their mothers. It was almost time for dinner. As the night went on, the townsfolk went to sleep in preparation for the next day, except for two young lovers who had met in the cover of darkness. The young man grabbed his lover's hand and led her through the village's main road, which was dimly lit by lantern light. He felt his heart speed up as he thought about taking his lover in his arms underneath the old beech tree that stood proudly a mile outside the village limits. "Barry, slow down," she said with a smile. "Come on," he shouted back. Two of them laughed their way through the nighttime autumn air until they finally arrived at their destination. The tree was tall and stood alone on top of a small hill. Its branches still held a few brown and orange leaves, while an abundance of others laid like a blanket beneath. Barry and his lover reached the tree and immediately collapsed on one another. While they were busy repeatedly locking their lips, they were unaware of a dense fog that rolled in. As Barry attempted to take off his lover's blouse, she felt an ice-cold breeze on her skin. "Stop," she said. "It's too cold." When those words struck his eardrums, Barry realized the dramatic change in weather. His eyes grew wide as another sound faintly made itself known. Galloping. Barry's breath began to pick up. His lover questioned what was happening. His anxiety rose as he himself slowly raised his head and looked around. The galloping grew louder and louder each moment, his fear gripping his mind. Suddenly, he heard a voice speak. It sounded like the tightening of a rope and a soft whisper of dead tree branches. The voice said one word: Barry. The gallop stopped. Barry's eyes searched for anything within the fog. His eyes squinted as he scanned. A chill gripped his spine as he finally caught something in the distance. It was a faint glow of light. He felt his throat constrict as the fog began to dissipate, allowing the rider to be seen. Pure fear stabbed Barry through his stomach as he stared at the rider. The visitor sat proudly on top of a horse. His black leathers flowed in a spectral dust. The jet-black stallion's eyes were a bright red, his breath a hot steam. The rider was holding a small lantern with an orange flame that flickered inside. Barry's eyes attempted to meet the eyes of the figure, but he could not, for the rider's body ended at his neckline. Barry stood frozen, waiting for the rider to do something. It wasn't long before he got his wish. The rider raised his free hand and showed he was holding a small object that was covered in shadow. Barry's eyes began to water as he attempted to prepare himself for what came next. Suddenly, the object the rider was holding showcased two small green lights. A larger green light opened beneath them, unleashing a horrifying sound. The object was the rider's head. Barry screamed as he collapsed and cowered into a ball. His lover grabbed him and held him close. The fog disappeared and the temperature returned to its October briskness. The two lovers returned to their village, sharing one final kiss before they parted to their own households. The following morning, the young woman awoke to the sound of birds chirping and people busying as the sunlight spilled through her window. Concerned about Barry, she quickly got to her feet and ran out of her home, greeting her parents in the process. She rushed through the cobblestone pathway and pushed past the streets of people. She finally arrived at Barry's home and knocked on the door. But the door slowly opened, showcasing a dark corridor inside. "Barry," she called out. She stepped inside and looked around. A frost hung in the air. She noticed the door to his bedroom was shut. The woman approached and grabbed the iron handle. She pushed open the door and a sight of horror met her gaze. Her beloved Barry was sprawled across the floor, lying in a pool of his own blood. The woman's scream echoed throughout the entire village. This is the legend of Dullahan.
Wow. Guys, if you love this short story, it was beautifully read, beautifully done. You can purchase Cal's books.
Okay, all right, okay. You can, but anyway.
No, that was good. That was chilling. Actually, well written.
Thank you.
For pulling that together pretty quickly. Hell yeah. No, that introduces it pretty well, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yes.
A little basic of a name of Barry, but...
Well, you know what's so funny? I thought of an Irish guy, and I thought of Barry Keoghan or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, because I didn't want to like go through a bunch of lists of names just to find one. So I was like, Barry Keoghan or whatever the hell his name is.
The dude from Saltburn.
The dude who screwed up Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. Sad.
I'm kidding. But yeah. Anyway. Well, thank you. And so that's the pretty much the legend. He is known as a supernatural being. Dullahan has haunted people in Ireland for generations. The terrifying headless horseman stalks the countryside and is known as a bad omen and a herald of death. He himself does not kill you, but he announces when you are chosen to die. In today's episode, we are crossing mythic legend and reality, just as Dullahan has. We discuss the nature of the supernatural being, then go over a few spooky encounters that the lovely people of Ireland have had dealt with him. So,
yeah. We
Before we move
probably
forward.
answered this before.
yes.
Maybe last time. This legend came before the American Sleepy Hollow legend, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
In fact, Sleepy Hollow was inspired by Dullahan.
Okay. That
So-
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so.
The original Headless Horseman
Yeah.
is Dullahan. Yes.
But they changed it from the Irish version to the American version a bit, right?
yeah, like his head's not a pumpkin.
Right, yeah.
Right. So it's actually his own head, which we'll go into his description a little bit more here in a second. But yeah, he's pretty frightening.
Yeah.
So
Chilling.
so there are a list of Dullahan's rules. There are certain rules when it comes to the specter of death and his haunting legend. So if you're planning on taking a trip to Ireland, like Jake and I are in 2027, or maybe you live there now, we're going to give you a few rules of the Dullahan. However, I will warn you, this guy does not play fair. Also, yeah, if you live in Ireland or you want to go to Ireland or you've been to Ireland or something, send us an email and let us know what we have to go see because Jake and I are taking a trip there in 2027.
Yes. Please let us know.
I'm actually thinking we're probably going to we might make it a work trip, do a couple episodes out there. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm really nervous about international travel with the gear. We'll see though.
Got to make it work, dude, at some point, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we might get our first international episodes come, it'd probably be like 2028 because we would film in fall of 2027. So probably like season 5.
Ooh.
Right? Wouldn't it be season? Yeah, it'd be season 5.
Something like that. Yeah.
Damn. So, rule number 1, he rides at night. Dullahan will stalk the countryside of Ireland, places that aren't very populated. He usually rides his spectral steed across lonely roads searching for someone, which leads to the next rule. Rule number 2. Dullahan does not randomly pick someone to meet death. No. He carefully picks someone. Why? Nobody's actually sure. There are a bunch of different reasons throughout legend that say differently, from being unfaithful to just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Regardless, you better hope he does not pick you because, well, let's get to the next rule. Rule number 3. If you are chosen, you are dead.
That's plain and simple.
Now, being chosen doesn't mean that you can't see him. In fact, there are actually a lot of people who have claimed to see Dullahan. They claim to
not
see,
die?
Yeah. They claim to see him galloping his horse at night, followed by a spectral fog. If you see him, it doesn't mean that you will die. It does, however, mean that he's on the hunt for somebody. It is also said that if you see him and he stops his horse, that's a really bad sign. So if he stops. It doesn't mean absolute death for you, though, but it does mean that he just made his choice.
It could be you.
It could be you. And if you see Dullahan riding and he stops and then you hear him say your name, You have been chosen and there is no escape.
Your fate is you're done.
Yeah, it's over.
Wow.
Rule number 4. You may think that you can escape. Maybe lock yourself in your home. Maybe you even made a whole cellar, that you lock yourself in, throw away the key, whatever.
If you get on a plane or a boat and leave.
Anything that you could think, you are mistaken. Dullahan does not stop at locks or blocked doors. They aren't sure how he gets in, but he always does. So again, if you were chosen, you're gone.
So what about water?
Actually, no, because that still doesn't work. Nothing works except for this. Rule number 5, the only protection you have against Dullahan, is gold.
His name's hard.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
gold.
pay him off?
No. It is said that you must always carry a single gold coin with you at all times when walking Ireland's countryside. For some reason, he will not choose someone who does this. It is worth mentioning, though, that if you are chosen and then you put a gold coin in your pocket,
Doesn't work.
that's not going to save you.
So-
You were already chosen.
So when we go, we need a gold coin
Need
immediately.
a gold coin because I am planning on going to the Irish countryside and I do not plan on meeting Dullahan. So,
Yeah, that would be quite an unfortunate trip if that were the case.
yeah. No, thank you.
And we welcome you back to this episode. Cal is no longer here. He had encountered Dullahan.
Yes.
What a legend though. That's crazy. You just
I know.
can't escape. You're just absolutely just a goner.
It's pretty much over for you, But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think so far?
I'm so intrigued by why he chooses the people he chooses.
I know, right?
It's like it's just so unknown, and I'm curious about it. Obviously,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different legends. A bunch of people think that it's different things, but yeah, I think it's just like a lot of people say it's a way, like the legend of Dullahan is a way of like just being a good person. Like he won't pick good people, but then there's other legends where it's like, no, if you're walking alone at night and you don't have like a gold coin or something, he'll pick you.
no matter if you're a saint.
Exactly. Like it's
Wow.
over. Yeah. Which is so crazy because
You would think it would be like, let's get the bad people out, right?
yeah. Well, it's so funny because this is one thing that I've always thought
Nobody's
about.
safe.
They always say like, bad things happen to good people.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you always kind of wonder why, how is that possible? How does that happen? Like, because I know people
We've
believe
experienced
in karma.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Well, not even personally, like just of people around us, like
yeah.
have died too young and they were a great person or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. And it's just so strange because it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just a wild thing to think like you can live the life, like your life as best as you can, try to be as good a person as you can. But regardless, if it's your time, it's your time. And
even if it's not like death per se, you could still be knocked down heavily.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, I understand like, okay, I'm thinking more death because like, in my opinion, when you get knocked down over and over and over again, they're just challenges for you to overcome and become a better person.
True. But you could still be a good person and have those obstacles all the time.
I would agree. Yeah. I mean, I definitely
Whereas
try
some
to be,
people may not even encounter that at all in their
Yeah.
life, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, look at all if you want to bring up like the freaking Epstein files, those people are fucking terrible, but they all like are just like rich as hell, living their life. It's like, damn, what the hell? That's insane. But for people like us who try to go through our day-to-day lives and just be like as good a people as we can be. I mean, I don't try to, wish bad on it. Like I don't wish bad on anybody. I try not to do anything wrong to people. I really just mind my own business. But I still get, the shit end of the stick like all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. I just think of it as like, that's life. You just got to move on. But I'm not dying.
Right.
I think that it's messed up when like people who just die when they're like, don't even get a chance at life. They like a drunk driver hits them or something. It's like, bro, what, like, how does, so what I basically, the whole point of what I'm saying is like, what if there is like an otherworldly force completely hypothetical, but what if there is another worldly force like the Dullahan who just picks people?
It's just your time.
It's like, okay, I picked you. It's over.
The Grim Reaper.
Yeah, right? Like, I guess that is another way of saying, like, it's just death.
Right, yeah.
Like,
death is knocking at your door.
Yeah.
Which is, like, he just picks. It's like, it's time for you to go, and you're just sitting there going, wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah. I guess I was just basically trying to say, like, is there another worldly force that is, like, commanding when people die? That would be crazy.
It would be.
And, like, we just have no idea because we spend our day-to-day lives living day to day.
You can't think about it.
No, you can't because it'll freak you out.
Yeah. You'd just be sitting there going, is today the day I am no longer on this planet?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's strange because, like,
it's kind of why I do live the way I live is you just live for today rather than tomorrow, right? So
you don't know if you get one.
Exactly. Yeah. It's cliche as hell, but I feel like it's a good way to think about things because tomorrow's not a guarantee. So today's fun.
It's true, man.
Even when it's the most stressful, hard day of your life.
Yeah.
You still got to come home and be like, it could be worse.
It's funny you're telling me that.
I know.
Yes, but it's true. I think it's like, yeah, you have to live every day like you don't know you're going to get another one. And that, Jake's right. That's super cliche, but
sometimes cliches are there for a reason, right?
Yeah. And well, I mean, here's the thing though, like we talked about it in season 2 with the coincidences episode, astral projection, things like that. We've explored the idea on this show about like the idea that we're not just like bags of meat, that we are actually cosmic beings, you know, like the fact that people
here for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that people think that like you like can leave your like physical body and do something else. Or like, there's a lot of people that think, I know there's this one study, we talked about it before, but where you're, they tracked this guy's like energy when he died. And for some weird reason, they were able to trace it to like a different galaxy.
Yeah.
That's like the weird, I don't even know how you do that. I don't know how, but we talked about it. I remember that. And it was like so strange. So I don't know. I mean, the coincidence murders, both of them had like an overwhelming sense of dread. We've had a few stories
that have kind of been similar. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like that feeling of like a sense of dread.
Yeah. You know something bad's coming.
Yeah. How? That's what I'm saying is like, how do you know? You know, you feel like something bad's going to happen and then something bad happens. And it's like, how do you avoid that?
But then like on the other side, I'm pretty sure we said this before too, is you feel dread and nothing bad happens.
True. Right? But maybe there's a worse sense of dread that you feel when you're about, you know what I mean? You wouldn't know because those people died in those stories.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, it is crazy to think about though.
Well, I think maybe, you know, in cases like that, what if they were picked by Dullahan or the other worldly force or something? Like, it's an interesting idea to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a quick tangent, but yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Is there a potential that there's somebody out there, some kind of force that is able to choose people when they die?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird to think about though.
Or are we all just like, we're placed here and it's just like The Sims, you know, people just live their lives and then if something bad happens, it just happens by chance.
It's just an unfortunate.
Yeah. And you just happen to have a sense of dread before you die or something.
It was just, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
There's a
lot of that though.
There is, unless, because again, I've never really felt
if you think about it, one small decision in just a millisecond can change the whole outcome of something.
Oh yeah.
Right? You could choose to leave a second later, a second sooner.
Yeah.
And you could get in a crash. You could not get in a crash. Like there's so many variables to change in from one destination to another.
I know. You know, like Seth MacFarlane, he was supposed to be on one of the planes that crashed in 9/11. He didn't because he was hungover. Literally, he missed his flight. And then now we have 20 seasons of Family Guy.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And going back to even The Conjuring, what if James Wan never even was on the movies anymore?
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
He just wasn't a part of them. Would they have been successful? Who knows?
You know, it's funny. I always think about, well, I don't always think about it. You know, sometimes when you're driving and your brain just like you
forget that you drove to a spot. Like,
yeah. And then you kind of like snap back into it and you're like, whoa, what did I do? You know,
yes.
Have you ever had that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, did I just like go through a red light? I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah. You're kind of on just like autopilot, but I always think like, it's crazy. There's times when I'm just like cruising and I have these like interesting thoughts, but one of them is the fact that one thin like painted line separates you from smashing into somebody like on the other side.
Oh, I know.
Like that's just so crazy to think about. This little tiny painted line just stops your fucking 1,000-pound vehicle from smashing into somebody else's 1,000-pound vehicle.
The also kind of dark thought that I have is someone could just swerve into you at any point. That's scary.
It is. Yeah, it's freaky. Yeah. But anyway, like you said, though, when they just die and they have that, I mean, we don't know that they have like a sense of dread. I mean, there are feelings that I have when I wake up and I don't mention it to like anybody. You know, it's like just like the silent battles that you're fighting. So maybe people chalk it up to like depression, and then they just like they die, and it's like, whoa, that could have been maybe everybody has a sense of dread. We just don't know that.
Right.
It's the people that mention it. Like, I don't know. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, anyway. you would never know, right?
Yeah, you would never know.
Because if something bad happens to them, you would have never known that they felt different that day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally get it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, just food for thought, guys. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that there's a kind of Dullahan that could be commanding stuff? I don't know. But anyway, so before we move into the actual account of witnessing the Dullahan, I wanted to bring up a few other descriptions of the Dullahan. It is said in some legends that the specter carries a whip made from a human spine.
Oof.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
How metal is that? That's kind of sick. His eyes and mouth glow with the burning fire of hell. So it's not a pumpkin.
No, it is not.
His black coat and horse are darker than darkness itself. It is said that if you see him and it's pitch black out, you can still see him because it's that black.
It's a whole new color.
Yeah, insane.
It's ghost black.
There are also supposed sightings and tellings of stories where the Dullahan is not on one horse, but is in fact on top of a pitch black carriage that is led by 4 or sometimes 6 in certain stories horses.
Interesting.
The scariest part is that some say that there is a coffin strapped to the back and the Dullahan is looking for somebody to put inside of it.
Death is coming for you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They call him the Herald of Death. So he's just coming to tell you, hey, you're dead. Like you're going to die.
Interesting.
So we're going to talk about an eyewitness account here. This is actually rooted in Irish history. So
before we get into that,
go ahead. Yeah.
One thought I was having, kind of funny, but was if multiple people are supposed to find their end from this supernatural creature, in the same night, how does that happen? Do you see multiple like at the same time?
I think he just picks one a night.
Just one?
Yeah. But
so what if someone else were to die at that exact moment?
So I think
you know what I mean?
There might be different ones. I mean, the Dullahan could literally just
spawns multiple. Everyone sees the same one.
I don't think so. I think they're different. If you look at cultures, they all kind of have their own folk legend of a herald of death.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you literally, I mean, think about it. That you know how like there's teams, like there's armies, there's lineups.
Uh-huh.
Like the Dullahan could just be one of death's like commanders or some shit. Doesn't have to look the same.
Right, yeah.
He's just chilling over in Ireland. That's his area.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, what if 2 Irish people saw him in the same night?
Well, they say that you can see him, but it's not unless he speaks your name.
No, I know.
That you die.
That's true. So if it is possible that he had multiple in the same night, maybe.
Yeah.
Or it's just one a night, but that would mean that nobody would die in the same night.
Maybe that's why he has a carriage. Maybe he upgraded. You
Maybe.
know?
I don't know. It's just a thought. I was like, how does that work?
I don't know. The actual logistics of how he carries out his work. So I'm not going to speak on that. Jake's
It
always
just
trying.
seems to break the theory, though.
I disagree.
I don't know.
I think that you can pick, and maybe he does pick more people. I don't know. But maybe there's another one. Maybe Ireland is full of different. Ireland is big on fairies.
Yeah.
He's technically known as a dark fairy.
Mm. The only way I would see it be possible is if he doesn't just pick one a night, and he's also many people can see him, and also he can speak many names at any point of time.
Could very well be.
I could see that won't break my theory, but if it's just one a night, then I don't know. That's a little different. But.
I don't know. The legend changes depending on different parts of Ireland that are saying it. So maybe, like I said, some people think he's in a carriage.
Yeah.
Other people apparently have seen him just on a horse.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know. Which one does he ride? I don't know.
And when he's knocking at your door and speaking your name, you probably don't have much time to tell what you saw.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a proven fact of what he does.
It doesn't have to be proven. It's just a thought I had.
No, I get you. So anyway, if you must know, here's an actual account that was written by Thomas Johnson Westrup in his book, A Folklore Survey of County Clare. In this story, he actually details the death of Sir Burton McNamara, a London man that was visiting Ireland. This was the tale that was read in the book. Obviously, this is shortened. On the night of December 11th, 1876, a servant of the McNamaras was going his rounds in Anistimun. I have no idea. Some Irish town. In the dark, he heard the rumbling of wheels on the back avenue, and knowing from the hour and place that no mortal vehicle could be coming, concluded that it was the death coach and ran on. Opening the gates before it, he had just time to open the third gate and throw himself on his face beside it at the bank before he heard a coach go clanking past. It did not stop at the house, but passed on. The following day, Admiral Sir Burton McNamara died in London. So it basically, there's an actual account of a guy who said this carriage came up, he heard it, it went past him, he freaked out, he jumped down, and it just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally he's like, I'm going back to London. So he gets up, he goes back to London. He's like, I'm not dealing with this place. And then he's found dead the following day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he tried to go to London and died.
You mean
so like I said,
Ireland?
No, he was in Ireland.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a London man.
Left
he was in
London.
Ireland.
Yeah.
He went back to London after that.
And was found dead.
Yeah. So like I said, you can't run from it. It's over.
But on that account, he said it didn't stop.
It didn't stop. It just went by him.
And there was no mentioning of a name call.
No mention of a name. True.
So,
but
interesting story.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless,
all these legends are just
they're missing certain pieces of them.
But they definitely all have the same theme.
Yeah. The same theme is some guys going around Ireland and basically choosing you for death.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So there's that. Now there's a poem that was spoken by Irish folk back in the day. And guess what? We're going to read the poem. He rides his black steed through the countryside, and whenever he stops, a mortal man dies. He's the angel of death and worthy of dread, dressed in all black and lacking a head. In his left hand is a spine that he'll use as a whip, and his right hand a scythe that will cut the quick. He rides his black steed through the countryside. If you chance to observe him, you may be struck blind, and still think yourself lucky that he left you behind. If he pulls on the reins and he finds you outdoors, Your heart will stop dead and will beat nevermore. There are buckets of blood where the Dullahan rides. On All Hallows Eve, you had best be inside.
All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, so Halloween.
I know.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Interesting.
So, yeah, with that,
I like poems.
yeah, they're kind of cool. I don't know. I'm a big fantasy guy, right? So there's people who do like songs and stories and all the books I read, and they're always pretty good.
Yeah. Quite interesting backstory to this.
Yes, that
strange creature.
With that concludes our legend of the Dullahan.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jake?
Now I don't want to go to Ireland.
I want to go. I'd like to see him. And honestly, if he calls my name, at least I'll know.
It's been a fun ride.
It's been fun. I'll see you guys later. No, I think it actually tells us, okay, we just need gold.
Yeah.
We can see him, but we just need a gold coin.
Before seeing him.
Yes. If we have any Ireland, If we have any Irish listeners, please let us know. Do you carry a gold coin around?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
One thing that's just so awesome to me is all this folklore stemming from different cultures is just so cool to like hear about.
Yeah.
Years and years down the line, right?
Mm.
Maybe the story changes a little bit from the origin, right? But it's just so cool. It's like a game of telephone.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going, and stories keep being told. Maybe it happens again and a new story spawns, but it's fascinating.
It is quite cool.
Plus, like, he's just kind of a sick ass supernatural.
Yeah. He's cool.
Scary, but cool.
Yeah, it's actually cool. I mean, I don't think it's like when we go see slashers, like, yeah, they're scary and stuff. Like, they're supposed to be scary, but I do think, like, what do the kids call it? Aura. They have aura.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Myers stalking through the streets and stuff. I think that's cool. I'm sorry. Like, I think it looks cool to me. Jason pulling up with like his machete and stuff, and he's walking through like a foggy Camp Crystal Lake. Bro, that's cool to me. Like, it looks cool. So, like, yeah, these spooky ass beings and supernaturals. If I saw this Dullahan, dude,
I'd
be
in the
like,
fog.
I'd be like, bro, you're cool.
Yeah.
You look sick. Like, keep like.
And then he turns around and goes, Cal.
Or if he was just like, Cal, thanks. Be like, yeah, man.
He just rides off into the night.
Anytime. Hey, who did your jacket? Anyway, yeah. So, you guys like the Dullahan? Did you like the little bit about it? Hopefully, you did. It's a little spooky. So, yeah, and that pretty much concludes that story. However, it does not conclude our episode. Not yet.
Not yet. Close.
Before we wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day, we have a fan submission story to go through.
That we do.
So, without further ado, let's jump back over to the pond to America, because that's where this story takes place.
Yes. And thank you, Cal, for all of that lore.
Yes, sir.
Now we jump into our submitted story here, coming to us from Burst Beat. Thank you. The story happened about 20 years ago, and I have not lived in the area for much of that time. So this is not current personal info, but I think that the location is relevant to the creepy feelings, and of course, I encourage others to look up references I bring up. I grew up in Long Island, New York, and Long Island is already home to creepy stories such as Amityville Horror House, which we've talked about on the pod.
Yeah, my dad lived there for a while when he was playing for the Jets.
Wild.
Well, he told me that place was haunted as shit. Yeah, he said Long Island was crazy. So, yeah.
I have countless stories of myself or friends and family checking out historic places back then, such as shut down asylums, haunted railways, or even highway crossings, Mary's grave, etc. And then, of course, there was random disappearances, some of which ended up being the Long Island Ripper, a case which recently got an alleged perpetrator. I didn't realize this at the time of the story, but the place my friends and I went was in the same category as all of these unsettling things. To be clear, I have no idea if this was supernatural or not, but the history I'll explain creeps me out either way. Every St. Patrick's Day, my mother, her friends, their kids, and any of my friends who wanted to tag along would go out to Montauk.
Yeah, Montauk.
Yeah. For a big parade. Montauk is gorgeous, by the way. And the sunset is allegedly famous. I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Montauk is sick.
You've been there?
No, but I've
You've
know
seen
about it,
yeah.
and my dad talks about it all the time. So.
One of my mother's friends owned a room in another famous attraction, the Montauk Manor. And we all went to visit after a long day of shenanigans. My friends and I, being teenagers, still had the energy to spare. So we asked if we could rent tennis rackets and just play around on that completely empty court. There were 4 of us, so we had played 2v2s of whack the ball as hard as we could at each other. Most of the balls went over the massive chain link fences because of our ridiculousness, and I didn't want my mother's friends to get in trouble for us losing the balls, so I asked my friends to split up and collect them all. I think we had a batch of a specific number, maybe 10 or 20, so we knew how many to look for. I took the neighboring field and grumbled in teenage angst about why there would be a tall wheat yellow grass field right next to a tennis court with about a 10-foot tall fence, mind you. I managed to find a lot of the balls we were looking for right on the edge of the tall grass, so I tossed them behind me onto the asphalt and figured a bunch probably rolled into the field itself. So I went onto this neighboring property to look. I was alone, and I can't explain this any better, but I felt compelled to look up from the ground search and look out to the field. There was a large rock that was stuck out from the 5-foot tall grass, right in the middle of the field, maybe 100 to 200 feet away. And although I'd seen it before, I was stunned to see a figure sitting on top of this rock. I can see this in my mind's eye to this day. It was a very lanky figure, presumably male with short hair, and either wearing a very tight shirt or nothing on top. Whatever the bottoms were looked like some sort of skirt or kilt looking item that stopped around the knees. I can't describe much more because the figure was unnaturally dark, as if no light penetrated this strange silhouette while the sun was still very much up and shining on both of us. I didn't register the darkness at first because the second I looked up and my eyes locked onto the person, the figure quickly slid off the rock and I saw the tall grass shaking towards my direction. Quite scary. It's like a snake in the grass, you know?
Dude, yeah.
I would probably start shitting bricks. My immediate thought was, oh shit, that's the farmer's son and I shouldn't be in his field. So I turned to make a quick exit. Yeah, probably a good call here.
I would say.
I went into the field on a diagonal. So when I turned, it was a new path out as I tried to escape any potential consequences. And on the short route back, I skidded to a halt at an extremely disturbing sight. In the gap in the tall grass was a dead deer, and right next to it, a very old-looking tennis ball. Likely not one of ours, though. The sight that made me freeze in the moment, I did a quick scan to try and understand what I was seeing. I eventually focused on something I couldn't explain in the moment. There was a hole in its chest right between the front legs, but there was no blood or smell or flies. This was where I lost whatever cool I had and started screaming for my friends. Go run! We need to get out of here. The panic in my voice apparently convinced them very quickly. Back at the manor door, I explained what I saw. They were questioning why I screamed at them, especially when I insisted that we look for the tennis balls. But after explaining the deer, they were pale and silent, chalking it up to be teenage energy, stupidity, and probably myself still running on adrenaline. My friends eventually said they needed to see this deer, and I agreed to show them the area I was in. I told them we could try and find it again, but someone saw me on the property, so we shouldn't trespass or anything. After a good couple minutes to calm down, we went back over and we were still on the manor's asphalt pavement, just peering around to see if we could spot the deer through the grass. My friend actually did, and we found out that it was one row away from easily visible if we used our arms to push some grass aside. I looked up again, not compelled, but probably paranoid, to look at the rock and make sure the only grass that was moving was due to the wind. Then we stepped back into the field to get a good look at this thing. We were all creeped out at the lack of blood despite the cavernous hole being there. There wasn't any evidence of violence at all. There was nothing on the ground around this hole on the fur, just dark, empty space where fur and other things like tissue should be. After a couple quiet minutes, someone said, "I honestly can't remember if it was me or my friends. That's where the heart would be." I remember a coldness going over me then, and suddenly I was no longer interested in what happened here. It felt to me like everyone got this feeling, and while there was a now funny to me morbid question of should we grab the tennis ball, we all left without another word to each other. After the shock wore off and we were walking through the manor and back to my mother's friend's room, we talked about how crazy that is. But that was the last we spoke of it. Until I Googled Long Island haunted places one day, years later. I don't remember the reasoning, but now, knowing me, I was probably looking for a cool place to drive that night. On the site of the Montauk Manor was listed, and that cold feeling washed over me again. I read about how this place was built upon countless Native American graves, how rituals were often done on the old and new grounds, and how shadow people were seen in the manor's hallways. We didn't see the latter, but the rest of it made me question a lot of what I saw that cold March day. I immediately messaged two of my friends who went with me with, "Do you remember that time?" And they were absolutely baffled at the news, which was validating for me at the time. It's become cool, a niche legend for us, but at the same time, none of us have gone back. And with that, we want to thank you all for listening to the Supernaturals podcast for our St. Patrick's Day special.
Yeah, that was a crazy story, though. As we wrap things up here.
Yes.
Whoo-wee. Guys.
Thank you again for that story.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think if something came running at me through the corn, I'd probably forget.
And it's crazy that you look it up and there's been things about dark figures and all that stuff, which kind of lines up with that silhouette being out there. Mm-hmm. It's just wild.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting for sure.
And I'm sure seeing that deer with just a giant hole in its body would be quite the sight.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, teenagers are always like, let's go poke it with a stick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, dang. All right. Well, cool, guys. That is it for us.
That's a wrap.
It's
over.
Or the season 2 to 3 off season is officially done. Yeah. Let's go. I'm freaking, dude. I love when we're in season because all of our hard work just finally comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, it's we're excited for this season, guys. It's gonna be big. It's going to be good. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some banger episodes. We got to really dive into some cool stuff that I've never heard about. Yeah. I know season 2, we did a lot of stuff that was well known, The Conjuring and Amityville and Heaven's Gate and all that. But now we're kind of diving into some stuff that I had to look in weird places to find stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy that stuff. And yeah, man, we're here.
That we are. I'm excited. Yeah. And on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us. And
well, hang on. I was going to say, if we do have, if you guys miss us for this last little month, because we'll be posting when it was April 15th or something like that. The Wednesday, middle of April. We'll post about, when season 3 is starting and stuff like that, obviously beforehand. So, yeah, stay tuned. And if you guys miss our voices and you want to listen to more of us before leading up to that, we have 2 seasons worth of content. From the Dyatlov Pass incident to the Comer Dobbin incident to a bunch of serial killers to cults to hauntings to weird
all
stuff,
of the things,
all these different kinds of topics. So if you guys are interested in any of that, even the horror movie deep dives that we do, check them out. Also check out, we got some short films out on our channel on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. And
and if you're all caught up on that, well,
then thank you.
Yeah.
First and foremost, thanks. Cause we do this for not only us, but for you guys. We want to just bring horror and, to you. And we hope we just put a little spook in your day.
That's true.
So,
and on that note, I'm hungry. So
all right, guys,
we'll see you around the graveyard.
And
blue.
And happy St. Patrick's Day.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the St. Patrick's Day special. See you in season 3.